Class 12th, Business Studies, Chapter 5th, Organizing, Lecture 8. Hello students. In this lecture, we'll read about informal organization. In our last lecture, we have studied about formal organization. So let's start. Informal organization means interactions among people at work gives rise to a network of social relationships among them called the informal organization. It originates from within the formal organization when people interact beyond their officially defined roles. Means that informal organization in informal organization there is a network of social relationships among people. Fine. So it originates from within the formal organization. We may take an example. Sukhvinder intends to start a wellness center. Fine. In order to run the business successful, he plans to appoint 5 people at different designations within the organization. Moreover, he clearly defines the role and responsibilities associated with each job so as to ensure smooth running of his company. This is how a formal organization works. Fine. And for a second assume if we say that Sukhvinder does not allow any interaction among the employee in the organization except the ones related to their work. What are the likely implications of such an approach? Would people like to work in this organization? Considering the fact that we are all social beings, beta, it is very important for us to interact with each other on the issues beyond work. So this helps us. Why do we talk to each other? Because it helps us to satisfy our social and emotional needs. This is for the reason that the people who are unknown to each other, when they join any organization, tend to develop personal relationship among them. So the organization of people which evolves as a result of these social interaction is known as informal organization. Fine. Basically, we can say if a person is if a person is forming formal organization and the people who are working under him are making their relationship with each other, they are talking to each other. That means they are making that organization informal. Fine. So definition of informal organization is according to Chester Bernard. An informal organization is an aggregate means sum up, of interpersonal relationships without any conscious purpose, but which may contribute to joint results. What does it mean? That people are talking to each other means it is contributing to joint results. They are preparing their interpersonal relationship, aggregate means sum up of, without any conscious purpose. Means if we are talking somebody formally in the organization, definitely we have to follow the rules and regulations of the organization in which we are working. But when there is interpersonal relationship without any conscious purpose, say if we are making friends in the organization, in the formal organization, so it means that we are preparing informal organization in that type of formal organization. Fine. So it is a network of personal and social relations not established or required by formal organization but arising spontaneously as a people associated with each other. Fine. Following are the features of informal organization. Number one, it emerges spontaneously and is not deliberately created by top management. Beta, you know, formal organization is created by top management because rules and regulations are followed by employees created by top management. है ना? So spontaneously means natural. It emerges naturally without any restriction. Means people are talking to each other without any restrictions. They are not following any rules and regulations created by top management. Fine. Second one is an informal organization originates from formal organization. You know, people who are socially or personally doing interaction among each other, between each other. So, informal organization originates from formal organization as a result of social or personal interaction among employees. The employees who are working under formal organization, they are interacting with each other whether socially or personally. So, they are creating informal organization. Fine. Third one is the standard of behavior evolved from group norms rather than officially laid down rules and regulations. The standard of behavior evolved. Evolved here means developed. Standard of behavior developed from group norms. If we are making informal organization, so if we are in some group, definitely we are making our own rules and regulations in that case. Fine. Rather than officially laid down rules and regulations. Officially laid down rules and regulations though are made by top management for which organization? Formal or informal? For formal organization. But in informal organization, the standard of behavior is developed through group norms. In which group you are and what is that group say about something. Fine. Next one is informal organization does not have fixed line of communication. It does not have fixed line of communication. Why? Because it is a complex network of social relationships among members. Fine. It is a complex network of social relationships. That's why it does not follow fixed line of communication. Next one is it has no fixed structure or form because it is complex network of social relationship among people. You know, it is not deliberately created by management. That's why it does not have any fixed structure or form. Because it is complex network of social relationship among members. Fine. So understood the features. The standard of behavior developed from group norms rather than officially laid down rules and regulations. Next one is informal organization does not have fixed lines of communication. Next one is it has no fixed structure or form because it is a complex network of social relationships among members. Now we can say the main point of its features are: number one, based on formal organization. You know, beta, informal organization is always based on formal organization. How? Because in formal organization, where people also have informal relations. It means that first of all the formal organization is established and then informal organization is created out of it. Fine. Next one is it has no written rules or procedures. In this organization, there are no written rules or procedures to govern interrelationship, because in formal organization we have to follow rules and regulations made by top management, but under informal organization it has no written rules or procedures, but there are group norms which have to be observed. For an example, employees working in an organization and belonging to a particular community form a separate group in an informal way. So gradually some norms do emerge, like helping the member of the group to find solution of the problems related to his work. It may be related to his work or it may be related to his own self. Similarly, they protect the member of their own community from the managerial exploitation as well. How? By doing cooperation and coordination. So in this way, the person joining this informal group will be bound to observe the norms of the group. So, in informal organization, people have no foundation because there are no written rules or procedures. But if they are in some group, they have to follow the norms and procedures of that group created by their own. Fine. Because they people always help that person who is the member of the group. How he helps? To find the solution of the problems related to his work. Fine. So all the person joining this informal group will be bound to observe the norms of the group. Next one is independent channel of communication. In this organization, relations among different people are not defined, because a person at the lowest rank can have direct contact with the person at the highest level. So the flow of communication cannot be specified. It is opposite of formal organization. How? Because in formal organization, we people have to follow scalar chain. Scalar chain, in which the authority and responsibility will be flowing from top to bottom, and definitely the result of that will be flowing from bottom to top. So independent channel of communication means that relations among different people are not defined, because a person at lower rank can have direct contact with the person at the highest level. So the flow of communication cannot be specified. Fine. Under organization chart, there is no place for informal organization. Why? Because it doesn't show the relationship of the employees. It is showing the interpersonal relationship of the employees that they are creating in the organization themselves. Fine. Next is, it is not deliberately created. Informal organization is not deliberately created because it emerges out of mutual relationship and taste. We will definitely join that group in which we find that we are more comfortable, isn't it so? In which we have the freedom to express our own views, in which we have freedom to create our own ideas, in which all the people are cooperating with each other, with us also, isn't it? So it is not deliberately created. Next one is it has no place on organization chart. As I told you now, informal organization has no place on properly prepared organization chart. Moreover, there is no information about it even in the organization manual. What do you mean by organization manual? Organization manual, in the organization manual, the authorities and responsibilities of various posts established in the organization are explained. So it also give other relevant details. So there is no place of informal organization in the organization chart. Fine. Next one is it is personal. It's being personal means that under this the feeling of individuals are kept in mind and nothing is imposed upon them. Beta, in formal organization definitely we have to follow rules and regulation. We have to be within the boundaries of rules, regulations and procedures. But under informal organization, it is personal. Personal means there are respect for the feelings of individuals who are creating or who are in that group. Fine. So nothing is imposed upon them. No rules, nothing is imposed upon them means no rules and regulations are imposed on them. The people who are in informal organization means if they are in that group that is informally created, fine. All people see the feelings of that individuals, they can keep in mind and they are not forced to do anything according to others. Even they have freedom to express their own ideas and views according to the situation. Whether that rule is to be followed or not depend upon the group, but everybody has the freedom to tell about their own wish. Fine. Last one is it lacks stability. It is generally lack of stability in such an organization. For example, an individual mixes with one group of people today but can cross over to another group tomorrow. Means there are no restriction on the individual whether he is joining this group or that group. It depends upon his own wish only. So it lacks stability. Not only this, an individual can be a member of more than one group at a time because there are no restriction over the individual to stay in that group. So he can leave that group, he can join another group, or he can be in both the groups. It depends upon his own wish if he wants to. So informal organization features, it is based on formal organization. Definitely it is created within formal organization. It has no rules and procedures. It doesn't follow any rules and procedures made by anyone, but it has to follow the norms created by the group. And it has independent channel of communication. Next one is fourth point, it is not deliberately created. It is not deliberately created because it is created out of mutual relationship and taste. Next one is it has no place on an organization chart because in an organization chart all the rules and regulations are to be followed and all the formal groups are to be shown. But it is informal organization, that's why it doesn't have any place on organization chart. Next one is it is personal. Personal means it depends upon person that he is joining which group. So feelings of the particular person who is in that group that is informally created is to be kept in mind by everyone and nothing is imposed upon them. Fine. Next one is it lacks stability. Lacks stability means that there is generally a lack of stability. An individual, suppose say it be a person by the name of Arjun, he is joining one group and if he is leaving that group and joining another group, so there are no restriction upon him to join another group. He can be in any group if he wants to. So He can leave one group and join another group, and he can be the part of both the groups on the same at the same time. So it depends upon him. Fine. So under informal organization, there are no so much restrictions imposed upon the persons like formal organization. So these are the features of informal organization. Fine. Your homework is you have to read informal organization, its meaning, learn its definition and features also, and write down in your notebook as well.